One of the major issues that we're having is transparency around the A through G data as it pertains to our high school students and, them having the opportunity to graduate high school and not only graduate, but then, move on to be accepted to a UC or to a state school. We have just in the UC system alone, we have 10 schools, 10 different campuses. And, we shut our students out by not making sure that they have those baseline requirements met so that they could go ahead and apply. It's not even to obtain acceptance. It's literally just for them to apply. So, the current state of education here in Oakland is one that is very traumatized. Our students are reading majorly below proficiency. ELA scores are down really low. Somewhere between 2 to 3 students are reading at grade level for our Black and Brown students, and that is totally not okay. And then when we look at the math numbers, it's between 1 and 2 students that are doing math at proficiency. And, these numbers have, really been worked up and studied by an organization named Plea, which is Families in Action for Quality Education. And as we study these numbers and the data, it's something that, it really breaks our hearts simply because our students deserve the opportunity to go on to the next level. They deserve the opportunity to be fully equipped. Their A through G requirements consist of math, English, science, history. It's 19 full-length classes that they're required to take before they graduate from high school. And upon completing these classes, they would then have the opportunity to apply at the next level to a UC or to a state school. When we walk into a school board meeting, there is an entire agenda that's put in place. We have, the superintendent's report. We have all these thick documents that give you all of the information that most people will never look through, but that I kind of drool over. But for me, when I show up to a school board meeting and that school board meeting has been adjourned early due to something that's happening on the other side of the planet, I mean, no disrespect to all of my people in this world. However, our students deserve the utmost level of respect, attention, and focus when it comes to their education. So if we can be that irate over a situation that's happening in Gaza, then we need to be that irate over the fact that the students here in Oakland, California cannot read and cannot do math. I can appreciate the fact that our school board members, our directors want to make sure that, we take a stance on the things that we are against, that we, really truly do take a stance for ceasefire. Those things are important. Human life is very important. It is more important than anything on the entire planet. However, in this moment, we cannot stop the war with the snap of a finger. But what we can do is snap our finger, pass a resolution for our students' education in the same way that we bring about resolutions for the ceasefire. And I want those to be taken as seriously. And up until this point, it has not been. So I find a lot of frustration in that space because if we truly say that we're here to serve students, our school boards and our schools only exist to serve our students. And our students' learning outcomes won't change until the behaviors of adults change. And then the last thing that I'll say is our relationships with our unions. Our relationships with our unions are one that need to be centered on students. It need to be, student focused because our unions have a great impact on the way in which our board votes and the way in which our board approves or denies different measures, resolutions, and different policy that comes, before. And so I just, I highly encourage everybody, no matter where you are, to understand who funds the candidates of your board, who is pushing their campaign, because when it comes time for us to vote on things that would have a positive impact for our students, but maybe a slightly negative impact for teachers, those board members who ultimately are funded by the unions and the teachers associations and Oakland Education Association, those board members sometimes do not always put the students at the center. And that needs to change. It needs to change immediately. So when we ask where we can make changes and where we can get better, quicker dissemination of funding, more transparent nature around the funding and where it's going, what contractors we're bringing in, and also, are we really placing our students at the center of our decisions? And if not, we need to reevaluate the decisions that we're making. So we organize the parents from different subgroup communities around the school. So we have, family leadership councils that have representatives from every single school that meet once a month. We have these different, subgroups so that we can then learn the data in a small space. We can come together and articulate that data and begin to bounce ideas off of one another of what can we really do to positively impact our students. Once we have a solid game plan, which was the resolution, okay, what do we need to do? We need to, double the numbers by 2030. What else do we need to do? We need to have a 10 to 15%, increase across the board every single year. What else do we need to do? And we throw out these ideas and, these initiatives, and we really execute them in a way where we see results. So that way we can take those results and say, when parents gather, when people who care gather all together and they begin to understand the mission and move in synchronicity, we get results. So what we've done is we've gathered our parents, we've gathered our community advocates, and we've gathered our allies from the board and the city council. And we are working together to make sure that that resolution gets passed as the first step of making sure that our children are properly serviced in the school systems, because schools exist to educate students. Otherwise, they would not be there. This resolution, even though we place our Black and our brown students at the center of it, and it is, the resolution for Black and brown student achievement, it is about all of our students. All of our students matter, district school, charter school, all students matter. And so this resolution is a way for us to truly understand where our students are transparently in connection with our leadership, and then take our students from where they are and then bring them to where they need to be, which is success, which is the next level of education, which is the opportunity to apply to a state school, to a UC school, and not be afraid that they won't have all of their requirements met. So as someone who had the opportunity to navigate the college realm and go to college on a basketball scholarship and then transition overseas to play professional basketball, I want that not just for my 9-year-old fourth grader, but I want that for all students. I want that for all students, because that's where you truly get to understand the real essence of life and all the beauty that it has to offer. So I definitely hope that everybody takes this serious and that, they push forward to make sure that A through G requirements in their space are being met by all of their students.
If you haven't checked out CaliforniaInsider.com, we highly recommend you do that now, because we're going to have a lot of news and videos there. And on top of what we have there right now, we are building a really big platform to cover what's happening in California, so you can be informed. We're going to have more shows, more videos from all aspects of life in California. Go to CaliforniaInsider.com and we'll see you there.